This is my 1968 Dodge Charger big block manual, and it's a car I've had many years, but I criminally somehow don't feature it that much on the channel, even though it's the mascot of the YouTube channel. In this episode, we're going to finally take it on a dyno to see what kind of power it puts out. Volume up. Potholes. This is my 1968 Dodge Charger big block manual, and it's actually the mascot car of this channel, the Late Break Show. If you go onto the channel homepage, it's the silhouette, the profile of this car, and I've had it since 2008, which is when I personally imported it from San Diego. It's a numbers matching car. Like I said, 383, came with a 4-barrel carb and the 4 on the floor Hurst shift manual. But I don't feature it nearly enough on the Late Break Show, and that's what I'm going to address in this episode. Specifically, the fact that it's never really been tuned properly. And I say recently, 3 years ago, fitted a new carburettor, new inlet manifold and a few other bits. But I've always wanted to set it up properly. So today we're taking it to a friend of mine over at a company called Project Heaven, where we're going to actually put it on a dyno and properly tune it. This could be a bit of a volume up ASMR job if you like V8s. I'm Jonny Smith. This is the Late Break Show. The main issue I've got with it is it's had a flat spot. When you're first pulling away, it really stutters and gasps. So we know that the carburation isn't quite right. We tried to do it as best we could statically. And my friend from the Mopar Muscle Club, Pete Wiseman, he fitted the 4-barrel that I put on there. It had a vacuum secondary 4-barrel beforehand. It's now got a double pumper Holley with an Edelbrock 383 Performer inlet manifold. The car is a numbers matching car, 383, 6.3 litre, an original 4 on the floor, 4-speed without a console with the bench seat. Now, I have done a video on this car previously explaining the backstory of how I came to acquire it and the restoration that took place despite it looking like it's never restored. I'll put a link for that in both the description and above my head. This video is more about trying to get the power that it deserves out of this engine, which was fully rebuilt, but not to like a highly tuned standard, a mild tune with, you know, electronic ignition and aluminium radiator that I can use. And I have used it almost every year since 2009. Albeit mostly not in the rain. I do really like the juxtaposition of driving this car through quaint, narrow British villages. I love driving left-hand drive cars on the left. I'm a bit weird. It must be my left-handedness. And it is, if you've watched the previous videos, it is actually a lot more of a driver's car than people will give it credit for, and that I was told before I bought the car. But by the end of today, on the rolling road session, I think it'll drive better than it ever has in my ownership. That's the plan. I actually bought this car just as America went into recession in 2008, before the UK went into recession. So ultimately, after a few years of saving, I kind of struck gold at the right time in hindsight. But one thing I do know is that I very much see this car as a part of the family. It predates both my children. It's a car they've always known about and they both really enjoy. It's great on long distances. It's not actually as terrible on petrol as people will think it is. I've seen 20s to the gallon, early 20s, believe it or not. And it's got that switchable exhaust. So you can switch between ASBO and quite smooth and refined, and that was a custom exhaust with the remote control solenoids in it, which are remote operated, that I have made by Wartech. And this car's me, really. And that's why when people say to me, oh, Johnny, you like electric cars, you can't possibly like real cars. I say, oh, well, you know, it's about the yin and the yang to me. You know, the thing about the Dodge is it's not got power steering and it's got non-servo drum brakes all round. So it's a commitment to drive. And on narrow British roads, you have to position it right. But I don't care what people say. And I don't know if it's this car or if in general they're like this. They actually handle a lot better than you think they do. There's much less body roll on this car. And they're not that heavy. They're not as heavy as they look. So you can actually position them quite nicely on the road, but there's no denying that the brakes are something you have to preempt. You have to really be aware of what's going on in modern traffic. I'm not going to change them. I like the car to be behaving as a period car because I drive so many new cars. I like getting into this and having that kind of like going back in time feel of what it's like to drive a muscle car from '68 with the options this person ordered it in. This car came to San Francisco when it was new, where it did the majority of its rotting. I bought it from Diego. So while there's no cars behind me, I'm just going to demonstrate what I mean. It's the rain, so I'm not going to do anything too hard. But just off throttle, it bogs. Feel, bogs, even doesn't matter. And then it'll come on. And then there's always a gasp like that. And there was a gasp when we had a vacuum secondary 4-barrel carb on it, which was an Edelbrock, which don't really like working with manual cars. A slightly separate issue, which we're hopefully going to look at on the dyno today, because the dyno allows us to analyse the car whilst it's not being driven on the motorway. We're going to look at, here we go, we're going to look at, there's a driveline kind of vibration and a slight noise coming from the back end, and it's probably from where I use this car a lot. 2021, 2020, when the Late Break Show was doing a lot of live shows and I was not maintaining it as much as I usually do, and I was using it more, and I want to look at that because I'm not too sure about it.
Oh, hi, Johnny.
Yeah, this man that's pretending to work is Pete from Project Heaven. Hi, Pete.
Hiya, Johnny, you right?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, mate. Good to see you too.
So you've recently had a different rolling road installed, I know.
Yes, that's right. We've just upgraded all the control equipment now, so it's much more accurate. It's about 1 horsepower accurate, so before it wasn't as much.
I have actually used Project Heaven's rolling road a couple of years back with my Honda S600 coupe, which did a fine job on. I'll show a clip of that because that car was beautiful. But this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, because basically I put different components on it, but we set it up approximately
by ear, sort of thing.
By ear, in a shed.
Yeah, okay.
And it's never quite been right, and it's never had its full potential unlocked. So that's what I want to do today. Put it on the dyno, check it over, and I have no idea what horsepower it is, but I do know it has flaws.
Yeah. So you've got a Holley double pumper, right?
Holley double pumper carb.
Okay.
Edelbrock 383 Performer inlet manifold, and it's just got a simple Pertronics electronic ignition module and not a lot else. Okay. It's standard spec, really. So I'm all yours, as they say.
All right, well, let's do it then.
Should we get it saddled up?
Yeah, let's get it in the rollers and get a lambda bung welded in it.
All right, okay.
All right.
So basically the main problem is it seems to have got a real flat spot off idle. It's almost difficult to pull away initially.
So when you stamp the throttle, or when you're just gently trying to pull away?
When you're gently trying to pull away, and then it will have. There's another little gulp.
Yep.
When you're mid throttle, it'll gasp and then suddenly lurch.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've not managed to iron that out. It used to cold start perfectly. That's got significantly worse, which is odd because like I've been using it every year since 2009.
Yeah, so it gets used regularly, rather regular, or
yeah, I mean,
does it get sat up for a while?
Yeah, it does. It sometimes sits for half a year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so maybe there's something seized in there.
I've always used E5 fuel.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes an unleaded leaded additive.
Yeah.
That's kind of it really. But it's really annoying. It was really on the button, and now it's less on the button.
Right. Okay.
And I just feel like it's definitely not as powerful as it ought to be.
And when you changed to a double pumper, did you do anything, or did you just put it straight on?
No, we did do quite a lot of adjustment. My friend Pete, not you Pete, another Pete, did do quite a lot, and but he said to be accurate you need a dyno.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm here today.
That's right, and we're going to get it.
It's only taken me 2 years or something, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, what we'll do first then is we'll do an initial power run to see where we're at the moment.
Yeah.
And then also I'll do some like part throttle running, idle as well, and then gentle acceleration and harsh acceleration, because all those things have different control circuits in the carburettor. So we need to test them all out on the rollers with the lambda sensor in there so we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
So we'll do that now.
Cool. Well, that was loud.
They were very loud, yeah.
In a tin shed.
Well, let's see what we got then. So so here's our power curve, horsepower curve.
Yeah.
So actually, it's not too bad. Peak power was 231 horsepower.
Okay.
But and this slight dip here was because we had to feather the throttle in to start with.
Because it was bogging?
No, not because of that. Because it was got quite a lot of torque. It would slip the rollers.
Okay.
These big American cars can do that. So
yeah, it is torquey.
So mixture-wise, so it's not bad. It's running a bit rich.
Right.
We're talking. You see this number here, this lambda number.
Yeah.
Should be between sort of 0.8, 0.85 when you're on the gas.
Yeah.
And then if you're say idle, it should be sort of between 0.9 and below 1. It should never be 1 or above.
Right. I
1
see.
is perfectly stochiometric.
Right.
But for a classic car, you want to be sort of maybe 9.5, 0.95 for idle.
Yeah.
But on load, we should be seeing 0.8 to 8.5. I try to go for 8.5. It runs a bit cleaner like that.
Okay.
So it's running a bit rich. So we need to look at the carburettor now and see what's going on there.
Yeah.
But now the next thing I need to do is I need to hop in the car and check what it does during like part throttle and harsh acceleration and gentle acceleration.
If it's like stuttering,
right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do now.
Which you should do.
Because what I'm going to I'll look at whilst we're doing that is I'll look at the AFR readings. Because again, you should see those numbers like 0.85.
What's AFR?
Air fuel ratio mixture.
Right.
So yeah. So let's see if that'll load up.
Interesting. I'll put all the stats on the screen from this book here. I've actually got a lot of the original literature of the car. This is a very old Chilton's tune-up manual. It's got a lot of the stats and specifications, and I've also got a reprint of the workshop manual. So I think in period, it was 335 horsepower gross, which is the horsepower output, not BHP, HP, with the engine with no ancillaries or anything on it, just basically dynoed as an engine on a bench, which is not a very accurate measurement, which is why we don't really believe those.
Okay, so look, the choke flap's actually stuck.
Ah.
So we need to unseize that. That's probably why you've got a bit of a problem with...
Richness.
Yeah.
I know it did get damaged in shipping.
Yeah, so there's a dent on the side here. I think we've probably got to take the choke flap out and then ream the hole so it's so stiff.
That is under a lot of tension.
Yeah.
And it really shouldn't be, should it? It should be feather-light.
Yeah, exactly. It should be very loose. Because it's only actuated by a bimetallic strip inside this round thing on the side.
Yeah, so it should be just...
There's hardly any force operating it. It's not an even butterfly.
Yeah.
If you notice, most butterflies, the shaft's through the centre. This one's off to one side, so that the airflow pulls it open. The choke flap's been bashed in too far, because it doesn't shut properly either, if you notice.
There's a gap on the bottom. So
there's a gap here for this like little register.
Yes.
These two are shoved halfway into the split, and on the back here, you see?
Yeah.
So we need to actually pull this whole flap up, and then it should come free.
Well,
you
can that bit there that's broken off,
there,
and that is because I brought this home in my bag from when I was working in America in 2015.
Yeah.
And in the hold, not hand luggage.
Yeah.
And I'd just gone through security and I heard my name being called out at LAX airport. Never a good thing. And it turns out what had happened is the sniffer dogs had smelt gasoline.
Oh, right.
Because although this carb was brand new, they bench run them, and it says there could be traces of gasoline. And the guy at security went, you can't put that on an aeroplane. And so he made me unpack my bag. I had to go all the way back round through security to the start again. And he said, we're going to have to take it off you. And I went, I can't do that. I said, it's cost me whatever it was with the inlet. It cost me $1,000. And he went, look, I know you're a car guy. I understand what this part is. He said, you got like 5 minutes. If you can put it in a UPS box and send it to yourself, there's a kiosk there. I'll let you go through.
Oh my God.
So I did, but it did get damaged in transit. Slightly, not hideously, but that will be what that is.
It is. There we go, she's coming now.
Right, so
that's that bit. Right, then this comes out the side.
So we need to just check that this is actually
like
flat.
That. There we are.
So the issue we've got is this corner here has obviously taken a knock. And I did know that there was some small damage here, but that radius is not what it should be, and that is ovaled slightly, which is causing that spindle and this butterfly to not be really nice and fluid, and it's catching, and that will have seized, which will have affected the mixture. Now, Project Heaven don't just do dynoing. In fact, that's a tiny bit of what these guys do. You've probably seen in the background this weapon of a 205 T16 recreation. What would you call it?
Yeah, recreation, replica, that sort of thing. So,
yeah.
It's got a Renault Clio Sport engine in it with the centrifugal blower on it.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's pretty serious.
Yeah, it is serious.
There's no race series for it yet, but the owner has hopes of creating some kind of race series and that sort of thing. At the moment, we're just testing it. So
that looks like a beautiful pagoda down there.
Yeah, so this was actually my business partner Will's mum's car.
Oh, really?
And his sister decided she wanted to restore it, so we've been restoring it for her.
You really are restoring it.
Yeah, so this has had everything. We've done all the upholstery, all the metalwork, the paintwork, engine build, gearbox build. We're going to do the hood. Everything's done in-house.
Yeah.
So we've done everything on it.
I actually did a barn find video on Will, his business partner's collection. It was quite a memorable day. I'll put a link in the description and also on screen. Because has he still got any of those cars he has?
Oh yeah, all of them.
Has he really?
yeah.
Even the Ferrari?
Oh yeah, the Ferrari for sure.
Oh my gosh.
He got more actually. It's actually got bigger.
He was supposed to be downsizing.
No, we did the opposite. We made a scrapyard out the back and filled it.
So T16 Pagoda.
And then we've got a DB4, but it's fairly rare colour. For one thing, it's very rare colour, and also it's got the enclosed lights, which is unusual for a DB4 as well.
I was going to say, yeah.
I mean, the DB4's like my favourite. I prefer it to the DB5. DB5 and 6 are a bit lardy. The DB4's a bit
The
lighter.
last DB4 I saw was a barn find that I did. And
we tried to buy it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you really?
yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool thing. That was a special day, that was. Behind you.
E-Type, this is pretty cool. It's not, it was a Series 2 originally, and then we've put an aluminium lightweight bonnet on it, lightweight doors, lightweight boot hatch as well, and it's also EFI converted.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's quite cool.
You do a lot of EFI, don't you?
Yeah, well, I do a lot of all sorts of things.
Well, you do a lot of all sorts, that's true.
This is cool. This is, you heard of Singer.
Yeah.
So this is a copy of a Singer.
Okay.
So, because obviously they're millions of pounds.
They are.
And we've done the engine build. It came already with metalwork and paintwork done.
Yes.
We are going to have to redo a few things.
Okay.
So we made a custom exhaust, which looks like the Singer one. They're made out of billet. Yeah, all the engine build converted to carbs, and it's overbought. It's got oversized cylinders as well, so it's 3.2, I think now.
Right.
And then we've done all this interior trim, and it's got green and orange.
Green and orange, isn't that?
Yeah, it's a serious colour, I've got to say. It looks good.
I like a full commitment colour scheme.
Yeah. We've got obviously an old Porsche there that we're doing the repairs to the wings and stuff like that on it.
Yeah, I bet it needs the sills or the backs of the sills.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every 944.
Yeah, and then in here we've got like the CNC plasma cutter, which is handy for rapid prototyping stuff. We make bucks, you see, like I'll show you. These are the bucks for
for metal forming.
Aston Martin V8 Prince of Wales spec has flared arches, so we've made these. We 3D scanned the real one, and then using the computer chopped it up and made this like jigsaw puzzle.
So you can beat the panels over it?
Yeah, well, yeah, you use it as a form. You don't really hit it around it, but you check it, you know.
Oh.
So, but it's much quicker than doing it with wood.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, I think we pretty much invented the ideas.
Prince of Wales spec.
Yeah.
Alvis.
Yeah, this has had an accident. I think the chap he got hit and one side's pushed backwards. We've got to take all the suspension apart and straighten it out and repair it and replace it and that sort of thing.
Right.
Various interesting metalworking machines.
Well, yeah, there's never... How many cars have you got being worked on in one go? In one sitting?
Well, we normally work on about sort of 10 at once.
Yeah.
But we've got... Because there's also a paint shop that's got 6 cars down there.
Yeah.
But then on site, we've probably got like 40 cars or something like that, maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
This is a new thing. This is a Shorlock casting repair. So we metal stitch stuff to repair it.
This is great. This is great. So you can do iron.
Yeah, iron and aluminium,
That's great.
But it's good because it's cold. So if you were to weld it, it would warp and distort.
Yes.
And if you laser weld it, the cracks tend to keep carrying on.
Yeah.
So, there's no one magic answer, but metal stitching is very useful for lots of applications, especially if you've got an engine that's fully built as well, because you can do it on a fully assembled engine.
Right, you don't have to dismantle the whole thing.
Yeah, because it's cold, so.
Oh, okay.
It's all done cold.
Interesting. I should get you to look at the bell housing on the Dodge.
Yeah, easy, yeah.
Because when I bought that car, it did have a crack in the bell housing, and we did try and repair it, but we didn't go very far because we were worried about damaging it more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's the stage of the stitches that you hammer in. You cut them up, and then you hammer them across the crack, and then you stud it across.
So it is like having your skin stapled together.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. Got your damper room, leader suspension. Oh yeah.
These are 2 dyno machines, because we bought the whole company.
Yeah.
So it's like mainly for classic and historic racing, that sort of thing. But anything bespoke, anything that's a bit out of the ordinary, we can design a damper to do it. And
that's brilliant.
Manufacture it all in house. And
definitely in house. You're not far away from where you'd fit into the car.
Oh no, yeah.
That's really handy. Yeah. Really handy.
Yeah.
The elephant in the room, pretty much literally, because this just looks comedically large.
Yeah, I know. Look, if you stand next to it, you can see how
it's a bit dark in this shed, but I'm probably going to have to come back and feature this. So this is the La France.
Yeah, so a pre-war fire engine, originally. We've kept the engine, steering, brakes, transmission and all that sort of thing, but shortened it by about 2 metres because it was a ladder truck. It would have had ladders on it.
Right, 2 metres.
Yeah.
2 metre shorter wheelbase.
Yeah, yeah. And the body, we made the body for it and all the interior panelling and everything, painted it, rebuilt the engine, rebuilt the box.
Wow.
The whole thing's been done.
This is, I mean, chain drive. Look at the size of the chains. And look at the size of the exhaust. In fact, look at the damn size of it. What the hell does this drive like? What's the engine size? It's a straight 6, right?
It's a straight 6. I can't remember the engine size. I think it's maybe 14 litres, something like that.
Shit the bed, Peter.
Yeah, yeah.
What the hell? I guess it
sounds amazing. It's not even that loud, actually, because it revs quite low. It's sort of, 2,000 RPM is like your max RPM almost. And,
so it's It's basically a fire engine roadster.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it? Or in the olden days, we would have called it a special.
Yeah, it's a special. And we've geared it up too. If you can see here where we machined the original teeth off and then put this sprocket on the top.
So that it has a higher final drive?
Yeah, because, you know, it would have been designed to be pulling a load of men, equipment and everything else.
At 30 miles an hour?
Yeah, exactly. But now it's, you know, well, I don't know, we haven't gone top speed yet.
It's got to be hairy, hasn't it got to be?
I mean, the steering's a little vague.
A little vague?
And it's heavy too, you know, and the brakes, you know, when you've only got rear brakes.
Oh, you've only got rear brakes.
And you can operate them with a handbrake on the outside of the car, and the gear selector's on the outside of the car too.
Love it.
You've got to remember the pedals the wrong way around as well, so it's a bit tricky.
It's just designed to catch you out and make you...
Yeah, so the accelerator's in the middle and the brake is on the right.
Oh, it's one of them.
And then your handbrake, which also operates the foot brake, is on the outside.
Oh my gosh.
So
forget that.
Yeah. Would you like to feel my shaft, Jonny?
That's lovely.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, so now that is nice and free, as it should have been, we'll put the air cleaner back on and we'll do another dyno run. And then we'll see where it's missing that time. We'll see how we can improve it with some jet. Well, Pete's brought boxes of jets. One thing we haven't mentioned is the fact that before we started any of the dyno runs, Pete welded a little lambda...
Oh, lambda sensor bung.
Yes, a bung.
Yeah, in there. So you can bolt a lambda sensor in there, wideband lambda, and that gives us the air-fuel ratio. So that's the most critical thing that you have to do when you're doing a rolling road. There's no point in doing it without that.
Yep.
You can try using a tail sniffer, which is like a lambda bung welded into a pipe that you shove up the exhaust.
Is that for like MOT emissions testing type of...
That's a bit like what they use.
Yeah.
But they are very inaccurate if you're doing that. They tend to suck a lot of air in around it to get lean results at like low RPM and stuff like that.
So whereabouts is the bung?
So the bung is before any major joints in case you've got a leak on your exhaust. So it's right near the front, just as they merge together.
Okay.
There's one on each bank actually, but we're just looking at one bank at the moment. So.
Yep, yep.
We just did another run, and now the choke is now operating.
Good.
And it's now off. We now have, instead of it running, it was like running rich earlier.
Yeah.
Now on this power run, it's running lean.
What, too lean, you think?
Too lean, yeah. So it's at peak power before you were at 0.78 lambda. So you should have been between 8.8 and 0.85.
Yeah.
And now you're at 0.9 lambda.
Right.
So you're a bit too lean.
So it's gone from being too rich initially, and it's gone way over to the other side.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
with no, and what?
Sorry,
power-wise, we were about 231 horse. Now we're about 234.
Yeah. So just by having the choke off properly, you've gained 3 horsepower. Not much, but we'll gain a bit more now because we're running lean. We need to up the fuel jet size.
Yes.
So a good thing to look at here as well is the fact that these lines are very flat.
Okay.
And very level. So 1,000 RPM isn't much different AFR from 4.5 grand, say.
And that's what you want.
And that's what you
want.
That's
a good thing.
And that's one of the things, the Holley carbs are quite good at that. They're quite kind of like fit and forget. You can chuck them on and they generally work pretty well out the box.
Yeah.
Whereas like a Weber or something, you'd need to be changing emulsion tubes, air corrector jets and all that sort of stuff to get that flat and correct. One thing I did notice, which you probably saw in the video there, was that when I was at part throttle and then I stamped it, it really coughed.
I gasped like hell. It probably almost jumped out the hole.
Yeah, so I was looking at the AFR mixture there, and you could see that when I was doing that, it was going lean.
Yeah.
So it needs more fuel, actually.
Yeah.
And before, it wasn't doing as bad when the choke was on. It was masked by the fact the whole thing was running richer.
Yeah.
But now that it's running leaner, it's really running lean when you try and accelerate. So
which is why I get that massive gasp on the road.
So I'll show you, we'll take the carburettor apart now, and I'll show you the various parts and what they do and which bits will change.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you got your several boxes of jets.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so I thought I'd just quickly explain to you what we've done inside the carburettor and how a few bits of it work.
Yeah.
So this is actually your valve block out of your car.
Yeah.
So we're about to change the main jets on this. These two jets are the main jets. At the moment, they're 71. We're going to go up one size because it's only a little bit richer it needs to be.
Yeah.
Bigger the number, the bigger the hole. It's not like a Weber where the number means something. Like a Weber, like 101 jet is 1.01 mil diameter.
Right.
They don't really mean it.
This is just a number.
It's just a number.
Right, that's handy. Okay.
So, right, so that's that. The other thing you've got going on here is this thing called the power valve.
Yes.
Which is in the Holley carburettors. And a lot of people don't really understand what that does. What that does is, on this side, it sees air. So it sees the vacuum from the engine. So when you're at idle or part throttle, this will typically be pulled shut by the vacuum.
Yeah.
And it'll close off the fuel supply.
It looks like a little thermostat.
Yeah, it does do it with a spring.
Yeah.
And then this is a billet version of this. So just for demonstration.
It's like an aftermarket add-on.
Aftermarket one. It has these two jets here. There's two jets in there too. But you can alter the size of them on this one. So when it demands for the extra fuel, when you put your foot down and the diaphragm opens and allows extra fuel in, it enriches the mixture.
Yeah.
And that's the clever thing about the carb. This will vary as you're putting your foot on the accelerator and off the accelerator. It'll vary the fuel supply demand depending on load. Yeah. That's one of the clever things about the Holley. So the other thing you've got going on your valve block is these little jets here are the idle jets. So that controls idle mixture. Yeah. That's fine-tuned by these screws, but it also controls the very slight throttle when you're just tickling it down the road.
There's a lot of tickling in the UK around small villages.
Yeah, exactly.
In big cars, which is actually where you want the fine control on the throttle for me.
So the problem is that with yours, this is set. So that's where a valve block like this comes in handy, because you can actually unscrew that jet and alter it, which on other people's cars I've drilled them out and things like this. Yeah. But you need a rolling road to be doing this, because you've got to make sure you're not making it run lean or rich by doing so.
Yeah, and you don't want to damage your engine.
Now the other thing I was saying about quickly was that on this is the emulsion tube effectively. This is where the fuel and the air get mixed.
Yes.
Now on this one you can see clearly there's a row of jet holes.
Of four.
Four there. Now what that is when you put your foot flat and it's climbing up through the RPM, you're going from 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 RPM. You start to uncover the different holes, and then by altering the size of these, you can make your power curve flat, the fuel mixture flat.
Yes.
So yours was good, but sometimes it could go really lean at the top, so then you put a bigger jet in here and so on. So
but you're compromised if you haven't got that many stages of adjustment, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, yours has just got two holes in it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Webers are different, but it's the same thing, kind of. Yeah. Same principle. Now the other thing, just briefly, is the accelerator. When I was stamping the accelerator, it went lean. Yeah. So you have on the Holleys, you have these all these different coloured little cams, look, which all of these have three positions. Yeah. The first position you set is where you need to leave them normally. You only use the other positions if you're raising your idle position for an automatic car or something. Yeah. So the different colour denotes how much fuel's pumped in when you stamp the throttle. Right. And yours were too lean. The pink one's quite a lean one. We put in an orange one, which is like nearly the biggest one. So that then absolutely chucks buckets of fuel into your engine. Nice. Well, the double pumper is pretty much designed to do that. It's that snap response. Yes. And it's a sort of race carb, really, or that's what it was designed for. The double pumper's my favourite Holley carb, because everything is, it does what you tell it to do, whereas the vacuum secondary one, it's more fiddly to try and get it to run right for racing situations anyway. For road use, it's okay, but for racing, I normally have a double pumper. So there you go.
Well, let's go and make it run more smoothly and more powerfully. Put your ear defenders on.
So good now. It's awesome.
Yeah. So
yes, that's
what are we looking at?
quite a successful final power run there. So the original, I've got the original run in the background, and then the new run on top of it. So you can see the original run's this blue line.
Yes.
And the purple one is what we've got now. So we've got a horsepower increase of, we're 244 now, and we were 231 at the beginning of the day.
Okay, yeah.
And then these are the fuel mixture curves, so nice and flat, but this is the one at the beginning of the day, which was very rich, and now is that absolutely correct? It's running at sort of between 0.85, 0.8 and 0.85. So yeah, very happy with that.
That's good. And when you were accelerating on that sort of snap response throttle that you were trying to do,
did you notice that that's better now? You could hear it, couldn't you?
Yeah, there was less splutter.
Yeah.
So even though you wouldn't drive as badly and as erratically as that on the street, I guess you're trying to give it the most extreme example of
exactly
to make it misbehave.
So it's like 1.5 grand, absolutely slam it to the floor.
Yeah.
And then if it can withstand that, then it can withstand anything.
With any kind of progression. Yeah. No, that's great. That's really good.
Sorted.
I am really pleased with that. And it means I'm going to drive it much more this summer, which is and hopefully the summer will be a little bit more like this and not about 2 hours ago when we were out filming in the rain.
Yeah.
Typical British summer. It definitely feels more responsive, and it's more about the low down response than the higher rev range response. That's nice. That pleases me. Now we presume that this rev counter was correct, but actually on the dyno we think it might be slightly reading high. I've got a shift. I've got a limiter on it anyway, so I set it on a soft limit. I don't thrash the arse off this car anyway, but it's more about just enjoying the process, and that I do, especially when you hear the sound just bouncing off the walls of the village. Now we've had 4 seasons in one day today. It's been very British. It's now t-shirt weather, scorching hot. So strange. And yet, this morning I had a damn coat on and it was sheeting with rain. I know the steering wheel is still misaligned. The steering is aligned, but the wheel is not. It's a job I will do this summer, I solemnly promise. So second gear. Nice. It just pulls, it keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. And actually the way the suspension is on this car, it actually suits itself really well to British roads, I think. It'll move around a little bit, but it won't body roll massively. Let's do a standing start, shall we? That's really good. That's strong. Really strong. Now it doesn't have a limited slip diff, my car. It came with an open diff as standard. I have thought about putting an LSD in it. But to be honest with you, I lost a gun cartridge down there when I accelerated. I keep a couple of empty ones. It's more about just that smoothness and that progression. It's not a neck snapping car, you know. Most cars will outgun it these days, but for me it's about the immersive driving experience. That does feel so much better. I'm really pleased. It's needed that dyno treatment for so long. Second gear, 2000. Yeah, that's what I want. It's nice. Now, one other thing I did have fitted on the car is brand new tyres about a year ago. I've hardly done any miles in them since fitting them. I went for BF Goodrich tyres, white letter tyres. I had white letter Cooper Cobras before. They were actually pretty old, and they had terrible grip levels. Even with loads of tread on, they felt like they were made of wood. So I want to say a massive thank you to Black Circles, because they're the ones that fitted these tyres. They came and did it at my office. I didn't have to go to a tyre shop. And they can get these sorts of specialist tyres in for you, which is why I got them that way. And for me, the aesthetic of the white letter tyre is so important on a period muscle car like this. It's what people expect. It's still a bit damp on the ground, actually. Third gear, 1000 RPM, it's 20 something miles an hour, flat down on the throttle. Let's see what happens, shall we? No, it's not really rapid by today's standards. Like I said, it's responsive. And it's about the entire experience. And for me, that's what I crave from this car. When I get in the 68 Dodge, I want the big manual stick. I want the brakes that are, you know, a commitment. No servo, no discs. You really have to look at where you're putting the car and what's approaching and who's going to cut you up, frankly. I very much hope you've enjoyed this video on the Charger. I will do more videos on the Charger. There's always little tweaks to do on a car that was rebuilt some years ago now. 2009 it was on the road with me. A lot's happened in that time, but I've done a few miles on the car and I just thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah, that just off idle used to be hideous. And now it's lovely. That makes a big difference. Doing the little manoeuvres. Yeah, that's good. 2000 in first, snap. Yes, please. Gosh, the brakes are terrible. You know, it's a reminder to me that sometimes little things make a massive difference, like carburettor adjustment and fine tuning. I knew that this car had the potential, and now it's got, what, 250 horsepower at the wheels, give or take? But the most important thing for me is it's such a rewarding car to drive. It's one of those cars which I always get in, I always enjoy the experience, I always enjoy the response from others in it, and I always walk away from it staring at it because I just think it's one of the best looking cars ever made. I'd love to know what you think of this video and what you'd like to see more on the Dodge. I would like to do a couple more jobs on it. I'm not going to rip it up and start again because I did that in 2008. But if you haven't already watched my other project car videos, there's a whole playlist of the different cars I'm working on and trying to get back on the road. And if you haven't already subscribed to The Late Brake Show, I'd love you to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Cheers.